What is up, everybody? So today we are going to go over more comments that I get on my Making a Murderer and Convicting a Murderer videos. I did a video like this a few weeks ago and the response was tremendous. We're going to jump right into it. The first comment is, the mind reading you are doing on Andrew Colburn is baffling. The people really don't like the people on the Convicting a Murderer side of things really don't like when you say that Andrew Colburn was looking at the RAV4 when he called in those plate numbers. They're very much, no, it's not possible that Andrew Colburn was looking at the plate numbers, when it absolutely is possible. Allegedly, of course, that he was looking at the plate numbers. It definitely sounds like he was looking at it when you listen to that call. And the next comment is, your summaries of Convicting a Murderer are as biased as Making a Murderer. You are actually helping to convict Stephen. I assume you mean since Stephen is already convicted and in prison, I'm helping keep him there? I don't think anybody that has anything to do with keeping Stephen Avery in prison watches these videos, but if they do, welcome to the channel. I'm as biased as Making a Murderer. I just happen to share the same opinion and same narrative that a lot of Making a Murderer put out there. But it's not just based on Making a Murderer. I watched Making a Murderer and then I went and did my own research and looked into things myself. I read court trial transcripts, I've read books, I've watched interviews. I've tried to watch absolutely everything and read everything I could on the case to make my own informed opinion. You might not agree with it, and it might be in line with what a lot of Making a Murderer put out there, but that's mine. I could say you're as biased as Convicting a Murderer, because it looks like that is what, maybe I'm wrong, but judging by the comment, I would say you think Stephen Avery is guilty, so you're as biased as Convicting a Murderer. The next comment here, the difference in some details between Making a Murderer and Convicting a Murderer is that they really glazed over some of Avery's worst behavior in Making a Murderer and either left out or barely mentioned he was already going to be in jail for other crimes even during the first truly wrongful conviction. Making a Murderer, they really glazed over a lot of Avery's worst behaviors. Okay, so there was a lot of that wasn't in Making a Murderer, but that's because that's not what it was about. Convicting a Murderer and Making a Murderer are two different types of documentaries, and I will explain. Making a Murderer was going over what was happening, other than the first episode, which I believe was mostly, if not all, about the 1985 wrongful conviction. The next 9 episodes were all about what was going on at that particular time with Stephen Avery. That's what Making a Murderer was about. Convicting a Murderer is largely a character piece on Stephen Avery, talking about the type of person he was, talking about the things that he did in the past. That wasn't what Making a Murderer was about, but that is what Convicting a Murderer was about, and that's totally fine. That's not a knock on what they're doing. They just had two different narratives, two different stories they were telling. Did Stephen Avery do a lot of horrendous things in his past? Absolutely, and that's what Convicting a Murderer wants to point out. Making a Murderer was about something else. That's why they didn't include it in that. This next comment, I feel like people who believe Stephen's innocent could at least watch the series before stomping their feet and speaking up for the potential rapist/killer. Just saying. Maybe you were shown a partial narrative. Maybe you can't understand why he would do it, considering his past, etc., etc. Fine, but just watch it. It won't hurt. Explain the things his docu-series brings to light. That's all. You don't have to stay stuck on stupid. I like that. It's the nicest way. I love the line, you don't have to stay stuck on stupid. Love that line. That's great. But I did watch it. I did watch Convicting a Murderer. I've watched the first 6 or 7 episodes, whatever has been released so far. So I did do it before I stomped my feet. I love that too. I did watch it. I have a review series up of all of the episodes that have aired, so telling me to watch it before stomping my feet really doesn't mean anything, because I did watch it and I've made my opinion and I've done a review series, so maybe you should pay more attention to what's on the channel. Maybe you're not at all interested, and I don't blame you, but I did watch it. But before you make a comment about not watching it, you should probably see if I've actually watched it or not. The next comment here is DW host. Now, this one I found very interesting. Daily Wire hosts are contractually obligated to make documentaries for the channel, so sounds like she cut corners by coattailing on an already made documentary and adding her face in the mix. I have absolutely no idea if that is true, but if that is true, that is extremely interesting and makes sense as to why Candace Owens would get involved with this project. Now, I don't... Candace Owens didn't buy it. Daily Wire bought it and inserted Candace Owens, but maybe it was part of her deal, if that is true, to get inserted in the documentary in case that is part of her contract. I don't know. Does anybody out there know if that is true or not? The next comment. Now this is about taking notes on a case. I talked about how officers should take notes, and a lot of people disagreed with me, which was weird. I was taking a few law enforcement classes at a local junior college at the time this case was happening. Crime scene investigation, criminal investigation, and evidence law. I'm not trying to say I'm an expert in this. I'm not. In all these classes, they taught about taking notes and everything that you do. Write everything down, and when you have something to then you have something to reference when writing your report. This must be one of the most incompetent sheriff's office around due to the fact that apparently no one took notes when it was such a basic thing. And I agree. Even to protect yourself as an officer or investigator, take notes on everything. Because then at least when you're in court, you have something to go back on. And be like, when they ask you a question, be like, I don't know, I gotta check my notes. But in this case, man, nobody took notes on anything. And people on the convicting a murderer side of things think it is okay that the officers didn't write anything down and don't remember anything. Really, really strange. Next comment, what did you do with your life? I tried to free a murderer. Well, that's a very productive life that helps many people. Now, you're watching my video. So we both obviously have no life then. You're watching a video on me trying to free a murderer, apparently. So thanks for watching, and thanks for joining me in my life. I loved this comment. The absolute mental gymnastics you're doing to explain the shady editing is wild. I loved the line, the absolute mental gymnastics. So it's hilarious. Well done. Well done. Very, very good comment. This next one, I just realized this was the same person from a few comments ago. I think you and all your fans would be contributing to society instead of wasting your lives. That's your second comment, I think, on the same video. So thanks for watching it again and wasting your life with me. I truly appreciate you wasting your life with me on my YouTube channel watching my videos. Avery's guilty. Conspiracy theorists running wild. Seriously, you're full of shit. How in the world can you believe cops murdered a young woman? I absolutely do not believe that the cops murdered Teresa Halbach. That is an absolutely insane thing to say and is completely inaccurate. The next comment, you excusing making a murderer for altering footage is ridiculous. I mean, it's not really. It's a documentary. The footage they edited didn't fit the story they were telling, didn't fit their narrative. Convicting a Murderer is doing the exact same thing with the footage they're showing. They're showing the footage that is telling their story. It's not ridiculous. It just didn't fit their story. This next comment, were there any witnesses that allegedly heard a gunshot from the Avery salvage yard on October 31st? I have absolutely no idea, and that is a great question. Maybe somebody can answer that. This next one, you all need to give up on this. It's embarrassing at this point. Again, you're watching my videos on something that you feel is embarrassing. So thank you for the engagement. Thanks for watching the video, and thanks for being embarrassed for me on my videos. I really appreciate you checking it out. I don't get it. All these people are like, you need to give up. You need to quit. Clearly, you're interested enough to watch the videos and to comment. Strange behavior. Next comment. What do I think? I think you have way too much time on your hands over a damn car. Good grief, get a life. you're the one watching the video of me talking about a damn car. So thank you for wasting your time with me. It's hilarious. And that's where we're going to end it today. I love those comments of people telling me that people like me or whatever are wasting our time. It's ridiculous. We should be doing something else. Clearly, you're entertained by it or not entertained by it, but you are watching the videos on the subject. It's very easy to not watch the videos on the subject. As soon as I pop up, you can scroll on by. Or don't follow the channel, or do whatever it is you gotta do to not watch the videos. But you're wasting your life with me. You're embarrassed for me on my videos that you're commenting on, meaning you watched it. Thank you. Thank you for watching, and that's today's video. Let me know what you think. Tomorrow, there is a new episode of Convicting a Murderer coming out, and I'll be watching and reviewing it. Woo! Hope you're having a good day, and I will see you again soon. This was fun.